Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about digital arrest, a term that has been making a frequent headlines in the news on the social media from past few months or even years, we can say. However, in the recent month, we have seen a significant increase in the cases related to such fraudster activities. So, what is the reason behind such rising cases? What exactly is digital arrest? How does it work, and what precautions we as an individual citizens can take to ensure that we do not fall victim to such kind of instances? Now, that is what we are going to discuss in this particular video of ours. So, first of all, to give you the brief idea that why we have taken this topic for discussion. So, as we can see, if you look at the news headlines, the screenshots that we have put here, we can see so many cases of digital arrest is being coming in the news, and the cases interestingly are not concentrated in any one single region of India. If we talk at the beginning, we have the former Miss India who was trapped in the cyber scam. This is the news that has come from the Uttar Pradesh Agra region. Then we have the unmasking digital arrest con. This is the case that has come from the city of Bengaluru. Then we have in Karnal, that is in Haryana, that is where we have the digital arrest fraud that has been on rise. 4 cases has been registered in the case of Karnal, Haryana. Then we have Uttarakhand STF. Then we have different states, different regions, cities, major metropolitan cities. Mumbai also is from where a major case has come in the recent weeks. So, also that is what we are going to discuss. So, this is the reason why we have taken this topic for discussion. And it's very important to be aware about such development that is happening in the area of cybercrime and cyber fraud. So, to understand the most recent case where the news has come about an Agra model who also claimed to be a former Miss India contestant. So, she was duped of rupees 99,000 rupees after cyber criminals have impersonated themselves as being an officer of Central Bureau of Investigation. So, actually first of all, she was contacted by, via a WhatsApp call where the cyber criminals claim that they are talking or basically they are representing the CBI, that is a major investigation agency of India, and her account, bank account as well as her Aadhaar card has been found to be illegally involved in the activities, that is illicit activities such as the smuggling of drug or drug trafficking, we can say narcotics trafficking and all that, and she has been the recipient of the illicit funds. And if she want to avoid arrest, physical arrest, she need to transfer 99,000 rupees, and then she will be basically left. So, that is the situation which has caused her to transfer 99,000 rupees. Later on, she realized that she might have been a victim of cyber fraud, and then she contacted the local police where it was confirmed that indeed it was not the real officers of CBI, it was some cyber criminals who were pretending to be the CBI officers. So, the term that is used for such kind of activities or such kind of what you can call as the phenomena is referred as digital arrest. In simple terms, if we describe, digital arrest can be claimed or can be considered as a sophisticated cyber crime tactics. Now, see, if we talk about the traditional cyber crimes such as the theft of the money from the digital accounts, or by using the what you can call as the OTP based methods where the cyber criminals used to call you, they say that you have won a particular award, or we are calling on the behalf of bank, you need to update your cards, you need to send give us the OTPs and all that. Now, that and there what we are seeing is that people have become more and more aware. So, the traditional methods of cyber crime is not yielding that much result. So, this digital arrest method that we are seeing is nothing but the evolution of crimes and criminals that is happening with time. As this is a new method, the cyber criminals understand that this is something that people are not aware about, and they can easily, using the fear, psychological fear, can dupe the people of their money. So, a sophisticated cyber crime tactic. Why sophisticated? Because here it is not only that cyber criminals are calling you or messaging you, rather they have set up an entire studio where they claim to be representative of the police officers. Many times they even wear the uniforms that is worn by the police officers, and the behind you will see that many times they take up what you can call or put up what you can call as the logo of the local police, state police, of which they claim to be representative of. They have a proper office set up with the flags, and you have different what you can call as the paraphernalia which resembles a government office. So, that is why we are calling it as a sophisticated cyber crime tactics. By using these tactics, the scammers then impersonate law enforcement officials or regulatory officials. For example, they claim to be a member of ED, Enforcement Directorate, and claim to detain victims virtually. Detain victims virtually means they say that you cannot go away from your camera of your smartphone or your laptop. You have to be continuously in contact with us, and while being digitally available, you have to take the actions. Largely those actions are the transferring of the money. So they often use video calls or messages to establish credibility as well. And interestingly, if you look at this particular image here, a recent news was coming from the Thrissur city police. Thrissur is a city in the Kerala. So where actually you can see on the mobile, it is the cyber criminal. So cyber criminal, he is wearing also a police uniform, but he is the cyber criminal, he is a fake police officer. And as you can see in the background, he has entire government, this what you can call as the flag of India. He has the setup of the government offices, but interestingly and by accident, he called the actual Thrissur city police and he wanted to make the police personnel as a victim himself. So obviously he was caught, and he understood that he had made an error, but by that time it was too late. His photograph was something that was captured by the police officers. So that is how they are trying to basically cause what you can call as this, create a sense of panic and fear among the mind of citizens, mind of people, and get money from it. So that is how we can describe the digital arrest. Now a recent case study also we can take coming from the Mumbai, where a 56-year-old person was duped of not a small sum of money, but overall 12.8 crore rupees. And this did not happen in a single day. Rather, the person was digitally arrested for almost a period of 4 months. And within the 4 months, the person was so scared. He was so much convinced by the authenticity of the police officials or the person, the cyber criminals who were claiming to be police officials, that he gave them the details of his fixed deposit. He gave them details of his entire parents' saving who were retired, so retired parents fund, and even sold the shares in the equity market in the private companies to pay cyber criminals money, because he thought that these are the real genuine law enforcement officials, and he actually really has some problems of which he need to come out of. So they basically claim that his Aadhaar card had been used in human trafficking and money laundering cases, and that is what you are seeing basically here. But that you are seeing here, that when such kind of digital arrest is being done by the cyber criminals, they are not basically accusing you of low level crimes. They are accusing you of such a high intensity crime that obviously if you are not aware about such kind of what you can call as the cases, such kind of the frauds, then you will obviously be very, very scared, and that is how the people become more vulnerable. Now, if you look at the modus operandi of the cyber criminals in the digital arrest, so obviously in the first step, they try to contact you. This initial contact can be either via Telegram, can be via WhatsApp, can be by any other social media platform, or even many times message and calls as well. Once the contact has been established, they claim to be a representative of the law enforcement agencies or the police, and they accuse you of some false crime that you have committed or your identity might have been involved in. For example, in case of Bengaluru, an old woman was duped in similar manner, where the cyber criminals said that they belong to what you can call as the CBI and Enforcement Directorate, and they also said that at the custom a parcel has been caught where you have the which contains the drugs, especially MDMA drugs that they have talked about, and if you not want to get arrested, then you need to pay this much amount of money. So that is how the allegation is being basically accusation is being made, and the people who are not aware about this, they feel vulnerable to it. They also threat that if you do not comply to our orders, if you do not transfer money, if you do not partake in the financial transactions that we are talking that we are telling you, obviously what will happen, physically you will be arrested and put in the jail. And then finally, as a resolution, they demand the payment transference of money. So in the case of Bengaluru also, more than 1 crore rupees of money was transferred by the elderly woman who was scared that her name is involved in the drug trafficking. So that is how the overall modus operandi we can understand here. Now the question comes that why we have sudden increase in such kind of scams or cyber crimes that we are seeing every day from different corners of India. You will have different type of cyber crimes that is being committed and is making the news headlines. So the reason we can simply attribute is to the rise of use of internets in the India. After China, India is the second largest user of internet in terms of the absolute number of users. We talk about the rural India, total 227 million people have access to the internet. In the urban area, we have total 205 million people who have access to the internet. Similarly, if we talk about gender distributions, we can see 65% of male have access to internet, 35% of females have access to internet, that is at all India level. Urban, rural, similarly such kind of data as you can see. Not only in the adult population, even if we talk about the kids who are aged between 5 years to 11 years only, they also go online using the adults devices, parents devices and all that. And overall, the total number of internet users today in India stands at 503 million behind the 850 million of internet user in the China. So obviously, higher the use of internet, higher the accessibility of the social media platforms, obviously more people can be targeted by these cyber criminals, especially in the rural areas where you have such a high penetration of internet. In urban areas, you have such a high penetration of internet, but the overall awareness about the cyber crimes in the population is still very, very low. So as you can see, throughout the entire ages, right from 6 years all the way, from 12 years all the way up to 50 plus years, you have different distribution data as you can see from the diagram. So the use of internet or penetration of internet is the major feature. Second, also we can say is the cyber criminals today are not what you can call as a low life criminal who do not have understanding, rather they are using the sophisticated methods, knowledge, approach to approach their victims, and that is also making them more vulnerable, highly vulnerable. Second, they also are participating or using what you can call as a psychological manipulation, where you have the fear psychosis is being created, a sense of urgency is being created, where you do not have time to basically think that whether you are really talking to a genuine police official or whether you are being a victim of cybercrime. That is what they bring in their approach. They create such a huge fear in your mind and create a sense of urgency that without thinking a lot, you are able to participate in financial transaction, transfer the money. Maybe few hours later or few days later, you realize that you might have been a victim of cybercrime, but by that it is too late. And lack of awareness, as we have discussed many times, that people still are not very aware about the nature of cybercrime that is prevalent in the society. So that is why we are seeing the sudden increase. And the gravity of the situation can be simply understood by the simple fact that even in the recent Mann Ki Baat address that the Honorable Prime Minister of India had done in the month of October, he has talked about the issue of digital arrest, where he has urged the people to be aware about, and also he has said that you have to stay calm and panic. Do not panic if you feel that you are being a victim of cybercrime. Record or take a screen recording, that is what he has suggested. Second, he also has said that remember that no government agency will threaten you online. This is a very simple fact. If the person is really a government agent, he will not arrest you digitally, he will ask you to visit the local police station, or he might visit you physically at the home. Also, there is no such provisions in the government departments that will have to online or digitally transfer the money from your account to someone else's account. Even it does not matter whether it is government account or private personal account. So that is something you have to be aware about. And third, he said that take action by calling the National Cyber Helpline and also inform the police about the crime. So this is what he has talked about, and since the Prime Minister has talked about it, you can understand how urgent is the situation as far as digital arrest is concerned. Now, if you look at the key precautions that as an ordinary citizens we can take is obviously first of all verify the call that you are getting, whether it is from the genuine police official or whether it is from the cyber criminal. For that, simply you can look at the helpline of the different agencies. For example, if some cyber criminal claims that he belongs to the CBI or he is representing the CBI, you can look at the CBI website, try to call their helpline, try to call the contact number and verify. Second, avoid sharing personal information. No government agency will ask you personal information, especially related to your financial data such as bank account number, IFSC number, OTP and all that. Third, you have to stay calm. Do not come in the grip of fear, because that is what cyber criminal largely use it. And last, report any kind of suspicious activities if you feel that someone is involved in the cyber fraud. Now, what are the steps that the government has taken? Also, we can look at the points here. So, first of all, the intelligence agencies of the India, they believe that this increasing nature of cyber arrest or digital arrest is not something that is being done by internally by the Indian criminals, rather it is a part of organized crime. It is being done by a large scale criminal organization, many of them who might be operating even outside of India. So cross border crime syndicates are also found to be involved in such kind of cyber criminal activities or cyber fraud activities. So the Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center, or IC4 as it is largely called as, which works under the Ministry of Home Affairs, and this is the lead organization, lead agency which has the responsibility of responding against or coordinating the response against any kind of cyber crime across the India. So it has blocked more than 1000 Skype IDs. Skype, as you know, it is a platform of the Microsoft. So with the association and help of Microsoft, they were able to block more than 1000 Skype IDs which were linked to such kind of video call to have a fraudulent activities or to carry out fraudulent activities. They also are working continuously to block SIM cards that might have been used by the fraudster to call the people, the mobile devices, as well as the mule accounts used by the cyber criminals. Mule account basically refers to account that is not of the cyber criminal himself. He is using the account only to siphon and transfer the money from the victim's account and then finally to the criminal's account. So many people who are engaged in the financial transaction who might not be aware that their account is being used for such kind of fraudulent transaction, they are called as mules, and that is very easier for the cyber criminals, because if police investigation is done, it is the mules who will get caught first and the cyber criminal will be arrested, or by that time he will be aware about the situation and he might even flee the country. So providing inputs and technical support to police forces is also something that is done by the IC4, as they have much more higher or greater extent of expertise in handling these affairs, and also to increase the awareness among the general public, general masses. They have been continuously putting infographics on their social media platforms, on their Twitter handles, and Cyber Dost platform that the IC4 handles, the IC4 runs, on which you can keep coming across many new development that is happening in the area of cyberspace. Now, what we can do as a responsible citizen? Now, suppose that we are aware that such kind of fraudulent activity is being conducted by the criminals. So, suppose someone call you. Now, obviously, you will know that you are being a victim of the fraud. So, you can cut the call or you can ignore the message and the video, this request of video calls. But also, you have to understand that you are a responsible citizen of India. Your duty or job does not end here. Once you come across such kind of fraud, you should immediately report it to the cybercrime.gov.in by the web platform, or you can also call the toll-free number of 1930, which is for any kind of assistance in the area of cybercrime. So obviously, what will happen? You have already been safe because you are aware about such kind of fraudulent activities. But by reporting such incidents, we will also ensure that no other fellow citizens of India became victim of such crimes if they are not aware about such kind of crime. So duped. Also, other thing we can say that even if unfortunately you have been what we can call as the victim, as a victim of cybercrime, and if you come across, you have this understanding that you have been a victim of cybercrime, what you can do is you can take a prompt action. And the importance of prompt action we can understand from this particular case, where a person who was duped in digital arrest scam, she transferred actually 7 lakh rupees to the fraudster, but because of her prompt action, she was able to get back the money. So also, if briefly we try to understand, basically what has happened here is that she was able to immediately inform the police officers that she has been the victim of cybercrime and the cyber fraudsters have taken money from her. And in this case, the bank was able to freeze the account where the money was transferred, and later on by the order of the courts, the money was transferred back to the personals. So that is how we can understand the prompt action. Being aware can help us a long way in fighting against such kind of cybercrime. Now, one mains based question we can understand here is the what do you understand by term digital arrest? As we know that cybercrime is a very important chapter in the internal security matters which come under the general studies 3. So question we can write is what do you understand by the term digital arrest, recently seen in news? Outline the steps taken to prevent such incidents by the government and suggest the way forward to reduce such cases in India. So you can try to practice, write the mains based answer, as 2-3 different questions are there. That is a general trend how the UPSC is framing the questions in these days. So that is all about this particular video. I hope you understood the concept of digital arrest, also understood that how you have to be safe from such kind of cyber fraud. Thank you very much.